we're not working yet. Here we are. We're working. It is live. Live in the D. That's a name of a show actually around here in Detroit. Live in the D. But it's not the name of this. Not the name of this show. Anyways, sorry we're late by 20 minutes. Wow. Yeah, there was some stuff going on and whatever. All right, so we are here for the next 45 minutes with the Detroit Disney duo Disney News recap of the week, recapping the news of everything that's gone on since June the 7th. That was last Sunday to now, which has been a lot of stuff going on. And I did a video before how I aggregate a lot of news, Disney news. I'll tell you, there's a lot of sources for Disney news. There's WDWNT, Walt Disney World News Today. There's the Disney Food Blog. There's the Diz. I also use Google Alerts. And I just scour the internets for Disney news. So I kind of go all over the place to get the news. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. Okay, all right. So let's get this party started here. We're gonna go turn on a. Hold on. Oh. I had a fan going here because it's kind of warm. Get stuffy right here. Stuffy. It's like stuffalophagus right here. So yeah. Anyways, so it's a beautiful day today. Let's see here the temperature. Let's see what is the temperature in Detroit, because Detroit is where we're at. We're in the Detroit metro area, and the temperature is a balmy 64. It's not 80 something degrees, and it's beautiful sunshine. It's gonna be sunshine today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's even gonna be 91 starting Thursday. Today's high is going to be 71. So it's going up 20 degrees this week. By the end of the week, it's going to be a hot and sticky. I don't know about sticky because there's not going to be any rain. So I'm not going to say it's going to be a sticky place. It's just going to be a hot one. And yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad. I know Florida is really, really hot and humid. And in August, when I've gone twice now in August, it is really super hot, humid, and it is almost unbearable. Even though that you just gotta utilize some shortcuts to make sure that going through the AC and stuff like that. So yeah, so we had a lot. We learned a lot of news. There was today was this whole week was news. It was rabid with news. It was a lot of different things coming out. So we're gonna try to talk about them all right here, right here in a minute. So, so as you know, okay, so return to work for there's been a lot of people that have been told that they are going to be returning to work at the cast members. This is item number 1. And yeah, so I got about 17 news items to catch you guys up with here. Yeah. So return number one is that the all the DVC resorts that are going to be open on the 22nd, the employees are going to be returning on the 21st at bars and restaurants, and in additionally to that, on the 21st, earlier, they're going to have the food handlers for the Magic Kingdom and the Animal Kingdom. Now you're asking, why would they need the food handlers on the 22nd or the 21st of June when the part for the Animal Kingdom and the Magic Kingdom, because that doesn't open up till the 11th of July? Well, that's probably because, and I heard this on another stream, that somebody was thinking that the DVC people will be able to go and have like a preview of the park, and I believe that's what might happen. Is they may get a actual preview of the park as DVC members, and that's why they need the food handlers there a little earlier than anybody else. And just that's probably a thought here of why they have to be there. Okay. And on June the 17th, housekeepers and restaurant workers were also going to be reporting. So because there's a lot of restaurants, they're going to be needing the housekeepers. Now, they're not going to be needing as many housekeepers as before, because DVC only, it's like when you go there, they don't have the level of housekeeping, because it's like a timeshare almost. You do most of your cleaning. You have a washer and dryer in some rooms that are like a 1-bedroom villa. You have a washer and dryer. But if you're in a deluxe studio, then you don't have a washer and dryer, but you have you have washer and dryers nearby that you can use to redo your towels if you go swimming or taking a lot of showers or whatever. But but it's your responsibility to keep up with the trash and the dishes and stuff like that. So the room service is not going to be there every single day to like make your bed, vacuum your floor, because all of these rooms come with also vacuum cleaner, and you're supposed to be taking care of the room for the most part. That is part of the DVC. So, that's just how it is. It's part of the deal. It's supposed to be your home, your home away from home. That's why they welcome you home. Okay, number 2, Major League Soccer is going to be playing at the ESPN complex starting July the 8th, and there'll be 26 teams in a tournament. It's almost as many soccer teams as there's going to be basketball teams, and they're going to be overlapping. So you'll have Major League Soccer there at the same time as the national the NBA, the National Basketball Association. So you'll have the Major League Soccer people are not going to be in the same complex. They will not be at Coronado Springs. The word is that they're going to be at the Swan and Dolphin, which is closed until July 29th, if you remember that. And they're at 2 different places of the park. So the 2 bubbles, the MLS bubble and the NBA bubble. I'm calling it the bubble because that's what they're calling it, is the bubble of isolation. Both of them will not be able to go in each other's bubbles. There are some concerns. Now let's talk about this that the players have, because that was another note that I noted. The players do have questions about the isolation bubble. Disney has come out and said that they're not going to require that their staff members have temperature checks. No temperature checks for staff for the NBA or probably the Major League Soccer. They're going to have lots of social distancing and mask wearing, but no temperature checks. Why would they temperature check all of the guests that work at the Magic Kingdom and all the different parks and everywhere else, except don't have any temperature checks for the staff that is going to be taking care of the National Basketball Association or the Major League Soccer? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, you would think that you would be temperature checking everyone. Also, that staff is not going to be quarantined either and isolated like the soccer or anybody else. They're just going to be like normal people and report to work. But there's going to be they're really super isolating. No housekeeping is not going to be in the room at the very same time as the NBA players are going to be there. Yeah. Let's see here. Number 3, Hong Kong Disneyland is not open. But they are still building the Castle of Magical Dreams, which is replacing Sleeping Beauty's castle, and it is almost done. Almost done. I guess construction is still going on over there, or sort of, at the Hong Kong Disneyland, but there's no date for that to be open. In the meantime, let's see here. And in the meantime, Disneyland Park in California is said that they're going to be opening up July the 15th. I thought it was the 11th, but it's the 15th from what I have on my note. Downtown Disney of California is going to be opening up July the 9th. It's Downtown Disney of California. So you almost like the Disney Springs. And so that's two parks there. One doesn't know when they're going to open, and the other one, Disneyland California, does just at the exact same time that Epcot and Hollywood Studios is going to be opening up in Florida for Walt Disney World. That's when Disneyland is going to be opening. Okay. Here's some things to think about also. Because there's not going to be any meal plan while you're staying at resorts, there are not going to be any refillable mugs. So they say so far. Maybe this refillable, maybe they'll be selling the refillable mugs anyways. Maybe that would be a great thing for them to do. They'll probably sell them, but you won't be able to fill them up anywhere. But they could still be used for refilling up at water stations. I don't know if they're going to have those water stations all over the place. The park too. Remember, they had all these water stations where you can get water. I don't know if they're going to keep them open. That's a good question. That is a good question. That's a question I would like to find out if they're going to be having the water stations open where you can refill your water bottles, or is that a health concern too? Good question there. Great question. All right. But okay. Also, here's another positive. Here's a positive. Disney, the World of Disney store in Disney Springs, does not require you to have a virtual. There's no virtual queue there's no virtual queue anymore. It's I'm pretty certain they have a capacity limit that they have to maintain, but they're not making everybody have a virtual queue. It's just kind of like stroll by. Are you open? Yeah, okay, let me go in. And there is no virtual queue. It's kind of like I remember a couple people that were there, and they said that kind of went away. So I think that was maybe just a crowd controlling measure for the first day, and make sure that nobody was like basically everybody was just rushing the World of Disney store. Um, so they did it by appointment. Now I don't know if that's everything that's there, but or not. So, anyways, um, so let's go on here. All right, so um, there's going to be a lot of changes in the resorts also. The resort cleaning, as I stated, they're going to be doing a lot more cleaning, but not in your room. They'll come by every so often, but they're going to be cleaning everything else. There's going to be a lot of cleaning. There's a lot. They need a lot more staff. There's going to be a ton more cleaning. Okay, so here's another kicker. If you were coming from New York, the quarantine is still on for you, buddy. I don't want. I said it like a talking to you like a New Yorker. If you are coming from New York or some other state that Florida deems that you need to be quarantined coming from, you will not. You're going to have to wait 2 weeks. So does that mean I have to take a month off, or 3 weeks off? I get to have to wait 2 weeks and then I can go. That is going to have a lot of people that are not going to be showing up due to the fact that they have to quarantine and they just don't have that time. So we'll see what happens with that quarantine from New York. Some people think, I've read and I've heard rumor that there's some people who think they are going to be able to get around that and not tell anybody that they're from New York. Good luck with that. I don't want to be the person that gets caught and then you're banned from Disney World because you try to cheat the system. Because I'm certain that's what they'll do. They'll ban you for life. You will be banned because you broke the rules. Don't do it. There is one ride right now that's open. That was happy news to hear. It is the Disney the marketplace Disney Marketplace Carousel in Disney Springs. You can ride it now. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if it costs anything or if it's free. I don't know. So that's like another good question to know. Whether if it's free of charge or you just get on it or you have to pay get a ticket. I'm pretty sure it would be a nominal, just a minuscule minimal fee to go on the marketplace carousel. It is a very small carousel, but I heard they're also doing a lot of cleaning on that. They wipe it down every time it goes around, and spray it down, wipe it down. Anyways, let's see here. Okay, so the Disney so Disney Transportation is going to be running for all those resort guests starting June 22nd. They'll have the the magical, aka when you leave the tragical express, that's going to be going. That's still going to be running. I thought it wasn't at first, but I found out now that it is going to be running to pick you up from the airport. They're still working on the Skyliner, figuring that out. I'm certain that will be running. I think that they just haven't announced that will be running just yet. The buses will be running at a limited capacity, and we already know they run at like a limited, and they run at different times. But I believe that they'll change that now that I've thought about it a little bit. Since my first report last week that said that when I was talking about the buses that may run at limited capacity, but they already run at like a limited amount of times, like every hour or something or less. I think there's just going to be more of them. They're only going to have to go to 2 resorts. That will cut down on half of the places they have to go. and that way they can double up until the next for 4 days at least, and then I just think there's going to be more buses, because they're going to have to. But I think that's going to all depend on how many people are going to be taking the bus. People may not be, you can't really social distance that well on a bus, but I'm sure that they'll be like, here in Detroit, the bus people, they, spray them down. Maybe they've got the the lighting like they do in New York. I doubt it for the buses there, where they have the ultraviolet, the UV lights in the buses in New York, and they just blare them down to kill stuff using UV lighting, like you're living in a barber shop where they, yeah, I don't know, where it's killing off all the germs in one of those UV UV boxes that kill germs. I don't know. I don't think they keep the lights on all the time like that though. Um, but but I think that some people will just be driving and taking cars, or rental cars will be rental car sales is going to be. And I know there was some, I think there was like, I think it was Enterprise or Budget, one of those companies was going to be declaring bankruptcy. They may want to think twice about this. They're going to have so many people that are going to be renting cars in Florida, at least, because they don't want to take the bus, and it'll be just easier to take a rental car, and you can control it on your own. You just go when you want to. You don't have to worry about the transportation. At least that's what I do. We drive from Detroit all the way down to Florida. We don't have to worry. No worries. Hakuna Matata. It's just when you get there, you just drive whenever you want to. Okay. So, yeah, so they're going to have the buses and the ferry boats, and the monorail is going to be running still, all at limited capacity. I could say, if you're going to be on vacation, going to Disney World or Disneyland, you just got to remember you're on vacation. Just relax. You may not just take things in stride. Just remember that this year it's going to be different than any other year. I feel like I'm it's going to be you should try to relax, not think of all the pandemic and stress that's going on, and just enjoy what you can. That's the most important tip that I can give you to now, is that just take part in whatever is available and do what you got to do, and just try to relax and have a good time and spend your vacation. Like I've watched other people say, it may not be for you and your kids or something else like that, but you know, if this is your destination, enjoy it, and of what it is. Enjoy that you're in the hot weather. A lot of people go to Florida because it's hotter than here. 64, 90 something in Florida constantly. So let's see here. Okay, let's go down the list and see if we got everything. I can't remember if we got everything or we did not get everything. So we're gonna go over the list one more time. So we talked about the workers returning to work, Major League Soccer on the ESPN complex. They're going to be July 8th to August 11th having the tournament. Hong Kong, the castle there at Hong Kong, Disneyland is coming along, almost done. Downtown Disney, California is opening. Disneyland is opening. Oh, here it is. Here's another one. AMC theaters say that they plan on reopening in the middle of July. They say that they're going to be reopening in the middle of July nationwide. We don't know how it's going to work out with the theaters. I think somebody voiced the concern that a lot of people don't like going to the theaters now because you have these lounging seats, the recliners and the seats. I mean, I love them, but but also they have the recliners in the seats, and not everybody is like so happy about that because people like can't, they get really relaxy on them, and then they bring all their stuff in, and it gets kind of um It's going to be a lot of cleaning for. I mean, everybody knows that the movie theater is sometimes could be the most germy place in the, of anywhere. So they're going to do a lot of cleaning. I think AMC is going to have a great cleaning crew, but at the same time, I think they could do it. You can they can have I don't know how many, like in Disney Springs. I don't know how many theaters that some of these theaters have 20 theaters. And also you can open up the theater to be 24 hours a day. That could help out. And you could be playing, usually some of the time all the theaters aren't playing all of the hits or all of the means, all of the most current movies. In a lot of the theaters, they cram them down in only a few. They have the biggest theater. I think what they're going to be doing is not, if it's like their brand new movie, like let's just say Mulan comes out in July, right? And they're playing that movie. I think they're going to have to play it in a ton of theaters that they have. I don't know how many theaters they have, and I think they're going to, yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do about food. That's going to be interesting. But I think because people eat I don't even want to go there, but you know what I'm saying? People eat and then they're messy and they drop the popcorn everywhere, and then, but that's all about cleaning up. So they're going to have a big duty cleaning up stuff in between the movies. I think between the movie times is going to be really critical. Okay. Now, let's see here. So we talked about the AMC Swan and Dolphin being closed till July 29th. The refillable mugs at the resorts and dining plan, 2-week quarantine, changes of service of the of how they're going to be cleaning in the resort people, how they're going to be giving service there, with towels and everything else like that. The marketplace Carousel is going to be open in Disney Springs. The Disney Magical Express, and they'll be running on June 22nd with limited monorail and ferry boat. There is an online. Let's talk about something very interesting. There is an online petition. At the last check, it was like over 20,000 people have signed it. They don't want Disneyland to be opening up in California on the 11th, or on the 15th. They don't want it to open, so they've started a petition. I don't know how far along this petition is getting. It's online, so nobody barely pays attention to online surveys, by the online surveys, online petitions, and barely anybody takes goes, oh well, you guys had 100,000. I don't think Disney is gonna stop because there's a petition online. That's just my opinion. They hardly do. Now, the only thing I could see stopping something from opening up is if the cases in Florida just keep on sporadically just going up. See, this is one thing. Okay. The cases of the virus right now are multiplying at record levels in Florida. And the task force was very concerned about this. And we're still weeks away from the opening up of Disney World, July the 11th. So we have 11 days, and today is the middle of June. So we still got about 25 days left. So that's 3 weeks until it's open. That's a long period of time in COVID time. In 3 weeks, a lot can happen in COVID time. It could be really, really bad, or it could drop off like it could really just drop off a cliff, and think numbers could go. It's all, I think, depends on what people do in Florida, and I don't know that we're gonna have to wait and see. But I think Disney is gonna, if they're worried about that and the virus affecting people at the park, they're going to they'll make a call. I don't think that's going to affect the resort people that are hanging out at the resorts right now. We'll see. That's June 22nd. That's like a week from today. So I suspect before a week, before June 22nd, if anybody anywhere gets a phone call saying, ding, 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 your resort reservation is canceled, that's a sign that Disney is going in another direction. They're reeling it back. They're decided to not maybe open up on the 22nd of July with the resorts, at least, and wait till the July the 11th and say, we're canceling your reservations. So the minute that we hear somebody say that the reservation for June 22nd is canceled at any DVC resort, we will know for certain that they're putting it on hold. Stop the brakes. Until then, I think it's full, like the NBA says, full court press. They'll be very interesting to know. Okay, so let's see here. Then there's an idea. I understand it completely. There's this idea that there's a petition. I don't know if it's a petition. I think it's just a lot of people. I don't think there's a petition at this point in time. I think it's just an idea that has been pushed to Disney that they should re-theme Splash Mountain. Right now, Splash Mountain, if you don't know, and I really didn't know, I never gave it a second thought about it, really. I guess that's because I never knew too much about the Song of the South. I'm not being ignorant. I just never knew. I guess I'm not a Disney. I'm a Disney fan, but I'm not like a Disney expert. I never put it. Nobody ever came and told me it would have to be one of those trivia deals. But Song of the South, Disney does not show that movie anymore. It's in the Disney vault, I guess. And Song of the South is like a kind of a racist ordeal, portrays slavery and stuff like that. But the ride is kind of like has a scene. The whole story of the ride is from a scene from Song of the South. So there's been a movement of people who want to change the theming of Splash Mountain to change it in to the Princess and the Frog. I haven't seen the Princess of the Frog, to be honest. But from what I hear, that's a way much better theme than it is right now. It kind of make and if you think about it right now, that Fox, I hear he breaks down like every day. It's like ridiculous. So maybe Disney will take that up. I think that the one of the CEOs, the past CEO, Bob Iger, I think he mentioned that he wasn't a fan of it either. So maybe they will do this. I think that is. I mean, if they're going to be doing all this construction around the place, and look, we've already changed Pirates of the Caribbean, that ride, and we took out the woman that was being auctioned by the pirates, which would be not treating women like they're slaves, and being auctioned off. Why not? Let's just change. Let's just go ahead while we're doing construction everywhere. And Splash Mountain, it could be renovated, redone. But that is not my call. We will see what happens. I mean, for a long time, there people could base this argument that a long time these rides have been there, and nobody even made a huff and puff about it. But at the same time, times are different, and groups are making huff and buffs, and things change, like names of buildings, street names, and whatnot. But yeah, Anyways, yeah, maybe those two get maybe who knows? Who knows what is going to happen there? Um, I think it was really easy to change Pirates of the Caribbean versus changing the whole ride and the way what it does over there at Splash Mountain. But you never know. I mean, it could be really. Maybe somebody has an idea that's brewing right now, going, what could we do? So I'm sure those ideas are bubbling around. Okay, so we talked about the NBA and the concerns that the NBA has, and to add on to that, some NBA players are questioning why the NBA is even opening up at this point in time, specifically while all the craziness is going on, and so. Anyways, that's everything that's going on in the news. For Disney, it's been approximately about 36 minutes. I knew it was going to be like 45 minutes. And let's see if anything late breaking came in. I always like checking. I have these Google alerts, and let me see if anything came in. No, not anything at all. Let's see if there's anything that I missed. Let's see here. Yeah, Google Alerts is great for picking up a lot of information about stuff that you may have missed. That picks up stories from all over the place, all on the internet for that week. Um, let's see here. Oh, it says here Beyonce. Oh, here's an interesting thing. Let's read this snippet of news here. Beyonce is talks with Disney for an 80 million, 80 euro million. I don't know. It says euros, but maybe it's $1 million deal. It says Beyonce is in talks with Disney over a deal. The singer voiced Nala in the last year's Lion King reboot and sang a new version of "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" on the soundtrack, and it is a thought if discussions with Disney, she with Disney go well, she could have a spot in the soundtrack for 2021 Marvel's movies Black Panther 2. So they're having a Black Panther 2 movie. That's interesting. Did not know that. That is news. Black Panther 2 movie. They're getting the voice actors together, and a source says Beyonce has become a major player for Disney and is a perfect fit for their brand. And so maybe she'll be a voice on if she wasn't, maybe she was in the first one. I didn't watch that. Didn't see that movie, but yeah, maybe she'll be a part of also of the Black Panther 2. It also says that she, let's see here, in April, Beyonce made a surprise performance for Disney's sing along When You Wish Upon a Star and the animated classic Pinocchio. So she was doing a lot of work for Disney. That's great. Yeah, so that was part of the news stories. Let's see if there's what else? What else do they have? What else? Disney okay, let's see here. Disney sets feature based on Lionel Richie's greatest hits. Disney Studios is in the early stages development on all night long, a film inspired by the greatest hits by Lionel Richie. If you didn't know, American Idol is now ABC. No, is it ABC? Is it Fox? No, it is ABC. It was on Fox, and Lionel Richie is like the man. He's one of the men there, but I like Lionel Richie is a great singer. He was in the Commodores, and so he's one of the judges for ABC, Disney ABC's American Idol, and they're going to be doing this in development of a film called All Night Long. That's going to be pretty cool. I don't think it's going to be in a movie theater, but it'll probably be a special that you'll be able to watch, or that they'll have. Oh, here's an interesting one. Hulu. Oh, okay. It says tensions over Hulu exposes fissures with Disney streaming. I don't know if we can see that. Oh, we have to read. It's yeah. It says more than a dozen years, Hulu was oddly in video streaming, owned by a group of entertainment giants, controlled by none of them. Okay, so I guess something with Hulu, and Disney having control of it. I don't, who's to say that? And I'm just saying, for Disney, if they own Hulu, which I believe that they do, I would say, and this is just me talking, because sometimes they like to consolidate things. I suspect that the two streaming services may be joined together into one called Disney Plus, and all that content on Hulu would be, and then you'd only have. I mean, here's the thing, right? About that I think about Hulu and Disney streaming and all these streaming companies is that I go to one. Here's been the problem for a long time. You go to one, I go to Netflix, and I cannot find, because the movies rotate in and out every month, and I can't find. It's nothing that's constantly there, right? That I can say, oh yeah, that will be there always, right? But that's kind of changing because before, nobody owned the content of their streaming service. It was kind of like on a contractual basis, right? So now, if you are in a streaming company that from a company that owns its own content, right, like HBO Max or Disney, then you don't have to worry about going and contracting for content, because I do know that HBO Max has contracted some stuff that they don't own to help to draw people in, but for the most part, Disney and HBO Max, Warner Brothers Media, has all sorts of different films underneath them already, and they have a vault of content that they can now say, if you want to watch that, you have to come here and you have to watch it. So Hulu, who is kind of like Netflix, and they're just kind of renting things, that's what I call them, for a period of time, I could see that Disney is going to get rid of Hulu in the future. Hulu is going to be a thing of the past, and they're going to suck it in, and it's just going to be merged with Disney Plus, and I guarantee nobody will miss it. They'll just be, it's going to be I think it's going to be a money saver for some people, because you have Hulu maybe on its own, and you're like, I'm just not going to watch Disney flicks. You know what I'm saying? And it'll just bring more people to Disney, the Disney Plus streaming service, and the Hulu, they can just go bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? And then they can just be one happy place. That's just how things work. Okay, so let's see here. These are some other stories. Let's see here. We have let's see here. The Disney Cruise Lines Disney Cruise Lines have canceled sailings into the fall. There's no so far now. Into the fall. You may not be able to get on a Disney Cruise Line for not until maybe next year. See what happens until there's I think that's that the cruises, yeah, that's a bad thing. Look, whether it's a norovirus or the coronavirus, and you're stuck on a ship, man, that's why I don't go cruising. I don't want to end up with some type of wacky weirdo virus and be stuck on a ship quarantined out in the middle of nowhere. It does not sound like fun. I'm just saying that because that does not sound like fun. But I mean, I know there's a lot of people who, they, norovirus will never happen to me. And then that one time of their 20 years of sailing cruises, it happens to their ship, and they're like, oh, you know. But it happens. So let's see here. Looking over some stories. It says here Disney plans to reopen its California theme parks. This is on June 11th. On July the 17th. Maybe it is July the 17th. A couple days after then. Let's see here. No, let's see here. It talks about. Oh, yep. So I hope everybody's having a great day today. We're just making sure we got all of the information. Here's one analyst was talking about attendance needed to make the U.S. parks opening for Disney worth it. That was brought up on the Resort TV 1 live stream. They were talking about whether or not, so and that was an earlier discussion, I remember, with lots of people, that whether they're going to be they're opening at a certain level of attendance, and they've and the ticket prices may go up, and then it says Bernstein Todd Junger raises his stock price target from 96 to that must be a typo, to $15. I mean, it must be a typo. That's 105. So that's 5. That's $9 going up. Yeah, it is. That's a typo. $105. So the Disney, their stocks are going up, and I remember Dole Whip Dad took advantage of this, and has been buying some Disney stock. That's great for him. Anybody who has the money and takes advantage of stock plummeting now is taking advantage of opportunist deals. I think that's a good thing to do. And that's what everybody does. They buy low and wait for it to go back up. And I think being part of the stockholder share, stock holding the company that you love the most is an important thing. But yeah, let's see here. So the attendance, it's going to be a big deal, because you don't want to lose a bunch of money. At the same time, you don't want to spend too many operational costs not to recoup it in the amount of people that you're going to be getting in the door. That is a big deal. That's a trade-off that you have to have. You got to have just enough people to either break even. That's the goal. You always want to try to break even with your operational expenses, so that at least you're not going into the negative. That is really crucial in making sure that your business isn't going to be plummeting and too far into the negative. Just saying. So here's a question of the day, and here's a question of the day. So we have Disneyland, and Hong Kong Disney, Tokyo Disney, Shanghai Disney, Disneyland Paris, and we have Walt Disney World. So this is the question of the day. Which castle do you like the most? Which castle do you like the most? Which one have you been to, or have you seen a photo of? Which castle is your favorite? Which country? That'll be the question of the day. Leave a comment letting me know which castle is your favorite. I'll tell you mine next week. All right. So with that said, we'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching this episode of the weekly recap of Disney news from June the 7th to to June the 14th. And you guys have a great and wonderful day for the rest of the weekend on Sunday here. And remember to subscribe, and talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.